Hey everybody, Tech Bishop here for one last video before the sun goes down. This is a truck related video. A lot of guys have mentioned that they're getting their CDLs for the first time. They've got to go in and do the original DMV, where the actual DMV officer goes around and watches you get prepared for your day. And here in North Carolina, I don't know how they do everywhere, but it's supposed to be federal guidelines, so it should be the same everywhere. But here they just come up, and there's two things that they, I don't say try to trick you up on, but they want to know what you would do in these certain situations. I hope this wind isn't blowing too hard right now. But one situation is they take a orange cone and put it behind your trailer where you can't see it. They say back up to it as close as you can and stop. What I did, I don't know if it's right or wrong, they won't tell you. Some guys back up where they think it is. Now if they tell you to back up to where you think it is what you have to do. But if they say back up to it as close as you can without hitting it, what you do is back up as close as you can without hitting it and stop and get out and go look, see how far away you are. Get back in, do it over again. You know, don't be in a hurry on this test. Don't try to get too close and, you know, pretend to be some expert that you can back into an unseen cone. But that is one of the rules. You see some of these trucks have GOAL, goal, on the mirror, and that's, what is it, an acronym? Is that right? Get out and look. That's what that's for. And there's nothing wrong. I've had to blindside back into places before where I couldn't see at all, and I would back up 6-8 inches and stop and get out and look, and I continued doing that until I got it where I could see. You know, so you have to do what you have to do. And same thing when you're inspecting the truck, they'll say, well, show me what you'll do. Just today you're going to work, show me what you'll do. And what you would do, you come in here, you check the truck. I check this truck every morning. But the thing with them, you have to tell them what you're doing. You know, you have to tell them tires okay, treads okay, hoses are okay, belts okay, check the oil, check the water. You have to tell them what you're doing. You have to tell them you're inspecting the mirrors. Don't just look at them and keep on walking because they don't know what you're doing. They want you to tell them. Now here in North Carolina, and I guess it's still up to the examiner, but you can carry a checklist with you and read from it, you know, to keep, because sometimes it's hard to keep up with all these parts. You know, they want you to talk about the lug nuts, the rims, the tires, the axle. You're checking all this stuff for cracks and damaged air lines, the alarm, the steering box, the brake shoes, everything. Like I said, water hoses, radiator. You know, you're looking for leaks anywhere, any engine oil leaks. So you have to say it because they don't know just because you got your head under the hood. They don't know what you're doing. And one important thing, I think the backing up to the cone is really important. And the other important thing is you do say, you do make an effort to look at the windshields. You got to say windshields, no cracks, no damages. Kind of pop the horn a little bit. Then you crank up. You tell them what you're doing is you're checking your air pressure, which is right here. These two gauges. It's at 120 pounds of pressure. This one's at 90. I bled the tank. I'll show you how to do that too. But what you do here, this has got to be working. These two gauges, you start pumping the foot pedal. You see the light coming on. You hear the buzzer. that beeper has got to work, because at this point here, cut this off, at this point here is less than 70 or 80 pounds of pressure in both tanks. I'm not sure how far down it will go before it locks up the wheels, but if this air pressure gets so low, it'll lock up the wheels and it'll stop you in the middle of an interstate. And I mean slamming on brakes. You know, when it shuts down, the brakes lock hard, and your boss is going to hate you because it's going to drag flat spots on all your tires, especially if you're going 70 miles an hour. So that gauge, when that light comes on, if you're still not looking, the beeper starts beeping. You, depending on the air leak you have, you probably got 3 minutes, I'd say, to get off the road, but you need to be doing it. So without that buzzer, it would shut you down in the highway because you wouldn't know it was coming till the brakes hit. You're going to fry all your tires. It's just going to be a disaster. You know, everybody behind you is going to hate you. But that's an important thing when you're doing your driver examination. After you do the written test, this would be a whole separate test. Most time you have to go to a certain DMV office to take the driver part of the test. You can take the written part, I think, in your local hometown, unless they've changed it. I'm not sure, but you'll know if you're trying to get your license. Probably let you know. But just don't forget this. Don't forget the cone I said, and don't forget to pump your brakes. Right now it's still beeping. Still says low air here, but there's plenty of time, plenty of warning to let me know to get off the road. I'll rev the engine up a little bit. Alright, it's getting up to, when it hit 80 pounds of pressure, the beeper went off and the warning light went off. And it should go all the way up to 120 pounds of pressure, and then the governor will kick in and start blowing it out. Plus you have a air dryer back there on some trucks, depending on what age truck you have. But again, you pump, you start jumping on the brake. You can hear the every time you do that, it releases air. And now it's down to 60 pounds. That may still, I think they would still roll. Coming back up to 80 again. But then at the same time, you have to let them know this is what you're doing. You're checking your low air light and warning buzzer. And you do have to check your defroster. The defroster has to work. Get out here. Here's your air tanks right here. Just get out and pull. And same thing, you go back here, you check all your air lines, these are called gland hands. Check all them. Tell them the catwalk's in good shape, tires are okay. You look over here at your brake shoes. Tell them about all these hoses. Tell them everything, or they don't count it. And I guess that's it. The sun has gone down now. There's the North Carolina sunset. And here's all my gear that I carry with me every day. And my secret shotgun. See, if you're out here at night, this is a bad place to be at night. And I have to come out here nearly every night. And this is what we got. I got it bolted into the floor right there. There's a tie down. I got it padlocked in with a combination. I unlock it when I get in at home. So it'll be ready to go if I need it out here. And then the last thing I do before I get into the truck, I lock that lock back. Don't tell anybody it's here. It's just between me and you. Take Bishop out.